welcome to this discussion about EXALEAD OnePart. How does EXALEAD OnePart work? Well, you've got content that's stored in various locations, shared files, maybe SharePoint, your PDM or PLM environments, ERP or databases. We connect to the data through what we call connectors. Each one is specific to the type of source of record or the data that you store. That then streams that information through our converter or processing pipeline. If it's CAD related, we have a special CAD converter that does a shape signature for doing geometric shape search. If it's other kinds of content, such as Word, PDF, Excel spreadsheets, etc., we go through a different converter. All of this then runs through our very powerful semantic engines and other pre-processing to enable us to then store this inside of the search index. The search index is highly optimized and enables you to do queries against textual information that's coming from the original sources of information. This is then hosted up through a web-based search server through the user interface, so it will work with any kind of mobile device, standard web browsers, etc. The administration, deployment, and the security management of the security of the content is also done through a web browser interface from an admin console. You can see here from the data import standpoint that it is non-intrusive, so the data stays where it was originally existing. We can do the incremental indexing, so you schedule how often you want those to re-index. It can be either manual or automatic. We don't make any changes to the existing source content, and we don't replicate or copy that into another location. Indexing is quite quick. We can get several files per second, and while it's actually doing its indexing, and even at the major indexing or incremental indexing, continues to allow you to do search while you're doing your importing. Let's take a quick look at the EXALEAD OnePart product now. I've logged into the system as my user account. Based on that user account, I have access to specific types of information. There's about 14,000 different files in here. I can narrow down those file results based on particular file extension or potentially a particular user. So I might click on my own content if I want. I can also look at files that are based on location in the where section. This, once again, from your data sources, you may have several locations, EPDM, Innovia, Windchill, etc. That information is accessed through the connectors and immediately made available holistically through the user interface to all the users that would have access to that data. We also extract out specific metadata information, such as design features or material information as well. Let's do a couple of quick little searches here. We're going to look for, say, a bracket. Notice I'm going to misspell the term because we don't have to have exact matching of that term when we do this indexing. You'll notice that it finds the term bracket in the title of this particular part, or the file name, also in various information inside the nomenclature, descriptions, etc. Found the term bracket inside of this PDF and other locations. Selecting a specific part here, perhaps this particular bracket is one that I'm interested in, enables me to then look and get further information about that bracket, such as the fact that there are 5 similar parts that are in the system, maybe based on shape and size, and I can select some of these parts to do a comparison. Comparison based on its shape signature, comparison based on metadata. As you can see from here, the part number or names are slightly different, but they're very close. This particular one is very close in similarity to the others. Or to the original one. These happen to be 100% identical, but they've got a slightly different folder location, so they're probably the same file that got replicated into multiple locations. We can add additional information to what you might want to represent or view from here, depending on the type of metadata that's available within the system, where we can do these comparisons. Let's go back and do another search for say a clamp made out of alloy. I'm going to change my view here. And once again, taking a look at another type of content, I can see that the parent-child relationship, so I can kind of walk through the data structures. I can get information regarding related documents, which might be based on drawings or supplier specifications, etc. You'll notice that this content may or may not exist in different systems. It may not be in the exact same system. It may not be in your PLM. But we can represent or relate this content together based on the fact that perhaps the file name or the part number appears in this kind of content. So this is done through our semantic processing capabilities as part of the product sets when you first install and index your content. The key here is that I'm able to identify content coming from multiple sources, look for things where I can reuse or repurpose a specific part. And of course, as organizations change, migration of content into one system or another, the ability to see content across multiple systems at the same time provides a high visibility of the intellectual property of the organization. And the user interface here, from this standpoint, it can either be run as a standalone application or the specific OnePart user roles will roll into the 3D experience platform as you're potentially migrating, say, from Innovia 2013X into the platform. And we can index both sets of content at the same time so that you don't necessarily have to migrate all of your content from, say, 2013X Innovia into the 3D experience platform. You can select and find things in 2013X, and then as you utilize and use that information, you can then check it into the new platform. It's almost like a way of crowdsourcing your migration into the platform based on example use needs by each user, finding what they need in the old systems, and then using that in the new workflow and the new collaboration processes within the 3D experience platform. It's a very quick demonstration of EXALEAD OnePart, how the application can be used as a standalone initially and then can also roll into the 3D experience platform for you in the future as you move into that direction. Thank you.